Both United States and Canada are among the top destinations for international students, but which one is better? By the end of this video, we're gonna find the answer to this question. I will also share some of my personal experiences as a person who moved to the United States as an international student and then moved to Canada for work and living. Perfect study destination might be different for each person. To find out which country is the better option for you, we are gonna compare US and Canada in the following categories: visa application, tuition and cost of living, quality of education, safety, employment rate and salary, easier to stay and work after graduation, and the ability to visit your family. Number 1, visa application process. Canada has a much simpler and straightforward visa application process compared to the US, and here is why. The US student visa process includes a personal interview. However, Canada does not have a personal interview for the visas, and that is why the process for Canada is a little bit less stressful. The visa application processing time can be different per applicant, and it can depend on many factors like your country of origin and the country you are applying from. But generally speaking, the processing time for Canadian visas are much shorter compared to the US. The student visa acceptance rate for both countries is almost the same, which is in the range of 65 to 75%. And for both countries, there is a visa requirement to show the proof of funds. To get the student visa from the US or Canada, you need to show that you have enough funds to cover first year's tuition fee plus the living expenses for 1 year. Tuition fee depends on the university and the program you selected. As for the 1-year living expenses, Canada visa has a specific requirement of $21,000. However, there is no specifications for the US student visa, and that can be a little bit tricky. Having said that, Canada wins for the better visa process. Number 2, tuition and cost of living. Based on the latest reports, as of 2023, cost of living in Canada is 13% lower than the US. Although the average salary in the United States is more than Canada, but majority of the international students in the United States are not eligible to legally work and have an income. Therefore, the income factor does not apply here. On the contrary, international students in Canada are eligible to work and have an income while on a study permit. Therefore, it can help with the affordability and living expenses. For latest updates and regulations on international students working in Canada, watch this video. So Canada is the winner of this round for having a more affordable tuition and living expenses. Number 3, quality of education. When it comes to the quality of education, both countries have plenty to offer. Majority of the high-ranked universities in the world are in the United States. Prestigious universities like Stanford, Yale, Harvard, MIT, and this list goes on. Canada also has some high-ranked universities like University of Toronto, UBC, and McGill. Although US has more high-ranked universities compared to Canada, but considering that the population of US is almost 10 times Canada, this does not come as a surprise. The winner of this round is United States with more high-ranked universities. Number 4, safety. Canada is a much safer country compared to the US, with drastically lower crime rates and heavy restrictions on the firearms. Number 5, employment rate and salary. In 2023, the graduate employment rate in the United States was 96%. This number was only 91% in Canada. Also, the average salary in the United States is $60,000 US, and this number is only $41,000 in Canada. So the United States is the winner of this round for higher average salary and graduate employment rate. Number 6, easier to stay and work after graduation. Canada has a much easier and straightforward process for international students who want to stay and work after the graduation. In Canada, international students can apply for the post-graduation work permit within 90 days of their graduation date, and they can gain the Canadian work experience and then apply for the permanent residency. In United States, international students can apply for OPT, which allows them to gain the work experience for 12 months. You can use your 12 months OPT both before and after the graduation. If you have used some of your OPT time during your studies, then after the graduation, you can only use the remaining time. And before the end of 12 months period of OPT, you should have convinced an American employer to extend the job offer and apply for your work visa. Otherwise, you have to leave the country. As you can guess, this can be a very stressful situation for the international students in the United States. So Canada is the better option if you're planning to stay and work after the graduation. Number 7, easier to visit family. Getting homesick is very common among the international students. The good news is if you are an international student in Canada or the US, most probably your student visa is multiple entry. Your family and friends can also apply for the visitor visa. But here is the big difference. Most visitor visas for the United States are single entry. This means every time that your family or friends would love to come and visit you in the United States, they have to apply for separate visitor visa. On the other hand, majority of the Canadian visitor visas are multiple entry. This means your family and friends can come to Canada and visit you as many times as they want. If you would like to have that peace of mind that you can have your family and friends next to you whenever you need them during your studies, Canada is the better choice. As you can see, both countries have strong pros and cons for international students. Considering your personal, professional, and career goals, you can decide which one is the better choice for you. And as for my personal experiences as a person who have lived in both countries for years, I found Canadian culture a little bit more friendly, welcoming, and inclusive. Canadian immigration regulations are designed in a way which is welcoming international students to find a job and remain in the country after the graduation and eventually becoming a permanent resident of Canada. In the United States, you find this process being much more complex, longer, and stressful. There are many more differences between Canada and the United States, and I will dive deeper into the subject in my next videos. If you are an international student in Canada or the United States, leave a comment under this video and share your experience with others. Cheers and see you in the next video.